Welcome everyone to an exciting episode of the Two Bar Connections with your host Jesse and
James. What's going on, everybody?
what is going on indeed. So for today's episode, we have some more updates going on between Unknown Worlds, the former leadership, and with Krafton. There's been some new details that have been come up according to leadership concerning Krafton with the whole ordeal of Krafton pretty much exiling Unknown World's leadership pretty much overnight over the launch of Subnautica 2. We also have Xbox taking the piss with the Asus ROG price, announcing that it'll be $1,000. Some news on that. We'll be discussing about price points. We also have Virtuous, the burst behind the recent Elder Scrolls Oblivion remaster, suffered some layoffs. We also have Ubisoft, friends of the podcast here after quite some time, coming back with a financial report saying that microtransactions make their games more fun. We also have King, mobile company behind Candy Crush and Farmer Workers Saga, reportedly having a lot of their workers being replaced with AI. And we also have Skillup, the critic reviewer for video games, has now opened a website that is completely free and supposed to be, something that he's building that's going to, be very cool going forward. But before we get into all that, how have you been?
I've been pretty good, dude. I know it's only been about a week since we last recorded. I haven't really done much except the same place you left me, taking my chemistry class. I'm doing better now because I messed up on an assignment toward the beginning. Didn't know exactly how the teacher, I take that back. She posted the rubric. I just didn't follow it because I thought I didn't need to. Turns out I did. But the second assignment on that, I guess, it's like a debrief memo where you have to essentially summarize all of the lab work that you've done in the prior 2 weeks leading up to that memo. Those functions as the exams for the class. I'm not sure if I got into that at any point, but you don't have exams in this class, so you have to go in and just do that. Just summarize your lab work and summarize if you understand the concepts that are being taught to you. Which, spoiler alert, yes. I mean, I've already taken these classes. I've taken all the way up to biochemistry, so this is essentially just a review for me. But it's nice though. I'm having a lot of fun. Like I'm drawing all of these long equations like I used to, and it brought back some nostalgia. It's like, God damn it, nostalgia bait even in my freaking class. This sucks, man.
That brings back nothing but memories of pain when I would take chemistry class and I didn't know what the hell was happening half the time.
Oh my God. Dude, I will be more than happy to teach you. Chemistry's
No,
great.
I'm good. No, I'm good.
You're good? Okay.
I have no need for it. Hey, you know what? If I ever want to, start cooking some meth, I'll hit you up then. But in chemistry, my interest died back in 11th grade. I'm good.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's probably why. Oh, yeah. It's I guess. Yeah. And then that's pretty much it. I'm doing better on the assignments. I've been playing nothing but Marvel Rivals with you. I haven't really been playing anything. That's it. And we've been ranking up. I've been doing really good with Ultron, which I gotta say I'm very pleased about. Very, very pleased. But it does suck though, those matches that I have to pick Luna, which I love Luna, but I don't know. I feel like if I have to pick Luna, that means I have to just focus mostly on healing. However, that was not the case for actually half the matches. I got some pretty good kills on the flyers, like I would have with Ultron.
Mm-hmm.
So I was actually pleased with my Luna play. So we're climbing. We're climbing. I think we're both in gold 1 now.
I'm in gold 2. I'm right behind you.
Ah, that's right. Yeah,
but I'm very close. I'm very close.
Yeah. You're close. And so am I. I'm also close to, what is it, platinum?
Yeah, platinum, and then diamond, and then grandmaster, and then it's
eternal.
Eternal, and then I think Celestial's after that.
Yeah, Celestial's after that. So we've been having a good time with Marvel Rivals. We finally started to ban Wolverine, and those matches are great. Except for the one
Wolverine's a shitter, yeah.
Yeah, well, except for those few matches where you have that one silver player. That one silver player.
And that's the one sneaks their way in, and it's like, oh, okay, great. Guess we'll have to play with whatever cancer the enemy team wants to put up on us.
Yeah, but I gotta tell you, Wolverine is a shitter, but Black Panther surprisingly is also a little bit of a piece of crap. and I've been having a lot of issues with Spider-Man as well. However, that being said, I think I've gotten used to I've gotten used to dealing with them, especially Spider-Man. However, sometimes I don't know what consumes me to think I can melee them, like just finish off with a melee. It's like, no, just use your primary fire. Yeah, it has a charge time, but you have a better chance of killing them if you use your like I'm just so like and then I just die. And then I mean I even tell you I mean and even after the fact I'm like, yo, why did I do that? Why did I think that was good?
Although, it would be pretty lit if they had like a melee support hero, like a Brigida kind of character in the game. Just obviously not as OP, but just
Yeah,
the
obviously
idea of
not
like
as
you
OP.
heal through meleeing people.
I guess so, but I guess in that sense, it would be more of an AoE heal, which Ultron already does. So I don't think there would be a need for a melee character. Also, Brigida, I love her, but she was very divisive in the Overwatch community. So I think the last thing that the developers of Marvel Rivals wants to do is fracture the base. And yeah, and honestly, Cloak and Dagger is already pretty much a shitter on her own.
I mean, Cloak and Dagger, and then Luna Snow with like her
No.
her fucking ult that lasts like half a year while she fucking twerks in the middle of a team fight and for like an
Yep.
eternity. She
However,
can't die.
so I actually learned something on that too. I mean, you could stick the Ultron orb on Luna while she's ulting, and if it helps keep everyone alive, and Luna can mostly use the damage buff instead of the healing buff to really send some squishies, which is interesting. I
Okay.
mean, I don't know. Yeah, I
I
mean, it
mean,
doesn't heal as fast.
until they start ulting back, and then it's like, okay, I switch back to healing.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure. Just saying, it can add a different depth
Yeah, I
to
mean,
the
yeah.
Luna.
If you want to go for like an aggressive push, that can definitely work in some niche situations.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that.
Yep. And that's pretty much it. Oh, I found out that the RoboCop, the game, released a DLC where, like, well, they call it a standalone story, but it's DLC. It looks pretty good. It looks like they're sending RoboCop into the Dread building. You remember
Yeah,
when we went to?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. It just looks like the Dread mega building, and they're sending you in there, and it looks pretty dope.
You just gotta work
Looks
your way up to
pretty
the top.
It seems that that's the case, which, I mean, it kind of sounds like the recipe for like a roguelike, where, you ascend the tower, go through every floor, and kill a bunch of
Oh yeah, I
enemies.
mean that's like 90% of them. So
Yeah. I don't know if that's the case. The reviews didn't say that
it's
was.
probably just a straight up just a story. Probably
Okay.
just a
All
story
right,
mission.
sounds good.
I don't think it's
Yeah,
like
but I'll probably pick that up sometime in the future. Probably when I'm done with my chemistry class and I have more time on my hands, I'll get to it. And what about you, dude? How's it going with you?
nothing crazy. Same old, same old. Still, studying, still doing work, and gaming. Like not much. I mean, I pretty much just played Marvel Rivals with you, and that was pretty much it.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's once again consumed our lives. Oh, hey, check out the new season. I'm like, oh my god, fine. And now I can't get off of it again. I'm like,
Oh yeah, no, I cycle. Yeah, but I'm not playing with you. I'll do AI matches so I can get some challenges out of the way. And I've done pretty much like all like the weeklies, and I even did all the season challenges that you can do.
yes.
I've
Yeah,
done all those already. Which
nice. Yeah.
it's damage. You have to like take damage, heal, and deal damage.
Yeah. Yeah. They introduced something called like the repeatable challenges that you can do like 4 times.
Yeah, that's the season challenge.
Yeah, I still have the take damage because I don't play tank. So maybe,
It's gonna take a while for you to get those then.
yeah. Well, that's why I was thinking like, yeah, maybe I should play tank against AI and just kind of like just sit there
Yeah.
and just
That you can
fucking
do. That's easy.
yeah.
Just play like
Right.
Thing or something. He's super easy. You just go Unga Bunga with him. Literally, you just walk forward, just press right click, and that's it.
Yeah.
Just press right click, and then if you need to run away, you just press shift or you press E on a teammate, and you just run back to him. He's not a hard
Yeah.
game. He's
Actually,
very easy to play.
yeah, I did play him against AI because I did try to get some of the challenge done, and he was pretty fun.
Yeah, he's
But
fun. When they added the ability for him to leap onto enemies, that's when he became really, really. Oh, and the ability for him to hit flyers down. That's what
Yeah.
became fun because before that he was kind of boring. Like you kind of just walk
Uh,
forward and just like I said, you just pressed right click over and over again.
yeah. Yeah. I see. As a flyer, though, he's sucks.
Oh yeah, because he can just yeet himself up to you and then just knock you down over and over again. like
I
once he
will
hits
say
you
though,
once, you can't get down. You can't get back up. I mean,
yeah. Well, if you do get high enough, he doesn't pose much of a threat. But some of these characters, it doesn't matter how high you are, they'll still get to you. Like Mr. Fantastic, and I know we've bitched about that.
he's annoying. He's
So
another shitter.
yeah, he's a super shitter, bro. It's like I know that you have elastic arms, but you're not supposed to reach this high. I mean, Spider-Man makes sense. Iron Fist, well, he's just bullshit to begin with, so I just kind of accepted it. But Mr. Fantastic is like, no, no, not three fucking people. I can't stand that.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of rough.
Yeah,
Like, but I'm supposed to fly. How are you reaching me from all the way up down there?
I'm literally touching the skybox. I can't go any higher.
And he's just giving you fucking back shots left and right.
Yeah,
and punching you in the nuts, in your robo nuts, over and over.
Exactly, bro. But other than that, it has been fun. I did get the premium pass though for the summer.
Oh shit,
And I'm
you
close
did?
to.
I did.
Well-
I was not gonna pay $10, dude.
But, well, I had leftover lettuce. So
Yeah, that's for lettuce.
Oh. lettuce, yeah, lattice. No, it's chrome. The gold one.
I think it's lattice. I like saying lettuce though.
Yeah, lettuce. Yeah, because there's gold, there's yellow lattice, and then there's blue lattice.
Can you give
It's
skins?
like, oh, yeah.
Can you like trade skins? That'd be sad. I'd be like, hey, can you give me the thong skin? Just give me.
Dude, I wish that was the thing.
Just give me,
Kinda like
just give me the thing and the thong. That's it. That's all I want.
Yeah,
'Cause I don't play Luna Snow. I don't really like Luna Snow, so I wouldn't. I don't want her Gunnar skin.
That's why I got it. Because
Maybe Loki, because I do like Loki.
Yeah, and his skin's pretty cool. But I do play Luna Snow enough to where the skin makes sense to me. But yeah, 100% Gunnar skin.
But yeah, in the future they gotta price those appropriately, dude. Those things have no business being as expensive as a regular. They should be like $5 tops.
Yeah,
That's how much they should be because they're pretty much a mini battle pass. So charge it like a mini battle pass, $5.
it's true. I agree.
And then they have this other thing, like you should notice the pickup bundle that's there.
The pickup bundle?
Yeah, the orange Venom skin.
Oh, yeah.
It's so annoying. It's $3, but Steam has a minimum of $5. So it's like I don't want to spend money on because I don't have $2 left over in my account. Like, oh great, what do I do with this now? I already have a cent in my fucking account name, right? On my account statement that when you open up Steam, right? And it drives my little mind goblins crazy. Like, fuck, like no B0. You can't be an odd number. You have to be divisible by. You have to either be an even number, divisible by 5. Like you can't. I don't want this one shit.
Bro, you sound like my sister when you talk like that. She's the same way.
Yeah, I hate it. And I bought like in Overwatch. I bought a discounted skin because I had leftover Overwatch coins, and they did the Maximilian Vault thing where like every few times a season, like they'll just release like super discounted prices based on like what heroes you play. And I finally got a Junker Queen one, so I bought that. But I have like this weird ass number where it's like 289 or 287, something like that. What the fuck? No, this looks wrong. I don't want this. And it's gonna be forever fucked up now. That's why I didn't want to get remember the Bastion skin for 1 coin.
Oh yes,
Because it would have been. I would have had like 1999. I'd be like, no, I don't want that. Oh my god.
Yeah, it would have fucked up your Overwatch coin count, and it would never be even.
Well, now
it would never be
now,
even
now
ever
it's
again.
fucked up forever.
Yeah, now it's fucked up.
Now it's fucked up forever because the queen. I gotta.
Yeah, but you fucked it up for your queen.
I must show. Yeah, I must show respect for my queen. Which also, one last tangent before we get into the news. Apparently, there was a Lover Watch event released in China only, and they have Junker Queen as one of them, and I'm so fucking mad. Like, why does China get it and not us? Well, when Valentine's Day comes around, you guys better release it.
That's bullshit, dude. Did you get to see what the actual skin looks like?
There's no skin. It's just art. People don't know like if there's skins associated with it. But she looks great.
Oh, okay.
Like she looks super cool, and she has like her hair down, so she looks really cool. That's her and it's Diva, so it's like my 2 favorite heroes. Literally my 2 favorite heroes. Like my 2 Overwatch waifus are like on there. It's like, fuck. What can I? Just give it to me. Come on, I want that. But maybe
Damn,
we'll get
that's
lucky in
that's
February. Next
incredible.
February.
Yeah, maybe we will. Yeah, actually, I didn't even realize that this was the first summer for Marvel Rivals that they're releasing these skins. So I was like, oh, why didn't they do it last year? And I'm like, oh no, this game
Came out
just came
December.
out in December. Yeah, it came out in December. This thing isn't even a year old yet. So very exciting time. All right, you ready to get into it?
Yeah, I most certainly am.
All
So,
right.
for our first story, we have some more details concerning Subnautica's 2 leadership. So, as you guys know, Krafton, the parent company to Unknown Worlds, ousted leadership pretty much overnight. They ousted CEO Ted McGill, co-founders Charlie Cleveland and Max McGuire. And they had alleged that it was due to them essentially being irresponsible and missing out on their leadership duties, pretty much ducking under leadership duties. And the leaders have now fired back with their own lawsuit alleging that apparently Krafton hindered the game in order to avoid paying the $250 million bonus that they were going to give to the team. So, in an unsealed complaint reported by Bloomberg, leadership claims that Subnautica 2 and Krafton's relationship were pretty good until around 2025, where then the leaders presented Krafton with some revenue projections, and those revenue projections were predicting that Subnautica 2 would do better than projected. And so from there, Krafton kind of changed their tune, and they tried to delay the game possibly, and they were also giving some late feedback all of a sudden. They had also allegedly pulled marketing materials, refused to follow pre-launch commitments, which then ended with them firing the leadership. Since then, Krafton has extended the period in which they would give the bonuses to the team, but they have not given a specific time frame because the game has been delayed until sometime until 2026. And in response to all this, Krafton released a statement saying, Krafton's decisions were made to ensure Subnautica 2 is the best possible game and lives up to fan expectations. Releasing the game prematurely with insufficient content, falling short of what fans expect in a sequel, would have both disappointed players who are at the heart of everything Krafton does and damaged the reputation of both Subnautica and Unknown Worlds fan. While we are disappointed that Charlie, Max, and Ted have filed a lawsuit seeking a huge payout, we look forward to defending ourselves in court. In the meantime, Krafton remains focused on what matters, delivering the best possible game as quickly as possible to Subnautica's fans.
Well, there's your update on the story. Kind of sounds like it's.
It's kind of turning into like a bit of a he said, she said kind of thing.
Right? I mean, both parties are eager to go to court, so they clearly each party believes themselves to be correct in the situation.
Yeah, because it was like leadership all of a sudden, got kicked out pretty much overnight, and then everyone was like, "Fuck!" Clearly, like this is meant to dodge, payments. And then Krafton was like, "No, this isn't about payments. This was about, content. You just didn't have enough content." And then people were still like, "No, that's bullshit." And they're like, "No, look, like, are the leaders over at Unknown Worlds? They weren't doing their jobs because of that. There wasn't enough content in the game." There was even that leak that we reported on last week, where that showed that it did seem indeed that Krafton was had reports indicating that there wasn't enough content in the game, at least according to their standards. Who knows what happened before then? And that they were going to have to delay the game multiple times, which they have multiple times because the original was supposed to come out in 2024. And they even wrote like some recommendations on like, hey, this needs more content. And then that's when leadership came on Reddit from Unknown Worlds and saying like, no, like the money wasn't going to be just all for us, because Tom was saying that 90% of it was going to go to leadership. Leadership was like, no, we were going to give that money to our team. We would never keep the money for ourselves. And this is just Krafton's way of just trying to avoid $250 million payout.
Yeah, which is kind of weird because the bonus was promised, quote unquote, promised to the Unknown Worlds leadership. All they were arguing for, it seems, was to negotiate to get the newer people that were joined on board after the deal was made, so they can get some of the bonus money. Because after all, they're working hard on that project as well. So it seems only fair that it only seems fair that they get a slice. So to Krafton, it really shouldn't make a difference because either way they're going to pay out $250. So who cares? It's not going to cost them more. They would be paying out the same amount of money. So it's strange to see this going further. It's like, oh no, we wanted other people to get a slice of the pie. It's like, oh well, Yeah, I know, but leadership wasn't doing their job, and we have some of the receipts to prove it. But I feel like there's still a lot of stuff missing
Yeah,
in
this
this
will definitely
story.
be a story that it's going to be on developing for months and months, years to come, if not years to come.
Yeah, which is a
Because
shame
that's
because
a lot of money. That's a lot of fucking money to be fighting
it,
over.
yeah, it is. Especially for like, if you do me a favor, do you happen to know how many people are working at Unknown Worlds at this current moment? I mean,
Yeah,
minus
that's
three,
just a quick search
minus
away.
three.
-3. No, there's no head count here on.
There's no head count. Okay, yeah,
Well,
because
they would put it there, but I don't.
but would you would say it's a small oh, there you go, employee count. Either
I
would you
don't
say
think they're
it's
that big. Yeah, approximately 294 employees, which that's a pretty sizable amount, but that's not massive.
it's not massive, and 250 million split between all those employees that's great. That's an awesome little bonus payout. On top of their pay for working on the game. It's pretty impressive.
Well, I hope that they get their compensation, some kind of compensation, and whatever comes out of the court case is whatever it is.
Yeah, we just want the truth, man. Please.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty interesting one to follow up on. But you know what else is pretty interesting?
What is interesting? It wouldn't be weirdly priced hardware, would it?
Yeah, actually would be. But it's interesting for all the wrong reasons. How about you let us know?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so Xbox is well covered here with their layoffs and their audacity and such, and it seems like they have a new thing to add to their repertoire of ostentatious behavior. Sorry. So the ROG Ally price leaks seemingly surface online, and well, the author is worried about the Asus handheld. So weirdly enough, there's a Spanish games publication called 3D Juegos that spotted an upcoming Xbox handheld device that was seen being priced at 599 euros, where the top end ROG Xbox Ally X, which is supposed to be the high end model of the Ally, had reached a 899 euro price tag, which translates to roughly 699 and 1050 respectively. Which, holy crap, $1,000 for a handheld gaming device is pretty freaking bonkers. I must say so myself. So the article also details the specs for each individual, and apparently there's an even stronger. Well, actually, there's the Xbox Ally, the Ally X, and then the Rogue Ally, which came out in 2023. So that's the one that's currently in the market right now. So as you can see, the Ally X boasts some pretty beefy specs, especially 80 watt hours of battery life, 1080p, 120 hertz screen, terabyte of memory, 24 gigs of RAM, and of course the AMD Ryzen AI Extreme. So it's got a lot going for it. However, the problem really is that's at the core of this is a handheld gaming PC that is priced to holy hell. Like I can't imagine paying $1,000. I mean, that's, bro, like my graphics card alone is worth more than that whole thing. So I think once again, Xbox is having a pricing issue. However, it should be noted though, that no price has actually been what's the word I'm looking for? Set. Like they have not come out with a price for their future Xbox Ally. So, do you have any thoughts on paying $1,000 for a mobile Xbox? The company the company that doesn't want to make hardware anymore.
I think I'm okay not paying those $1,000, dude. I got a pretty beefy computer here, and I got Steam Deck that you so graciously gave me. I think I'm good with that.
That you don't
For
that
what
you
I want to
don't
do,
use. That you don't use, I will say.
hey, you know what? That the Switch 2 education software is coming out. Okay, it'll make very
Yes.
good use then.
Yeah, which actually that's another story we have to cover because I think they already broke through I think they already jailbroke the new Switch, but we'll cover that. Yeah, which we'll cover that. We'll cover that later. But anyway, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people like you got the Steam Deck for free from me, and you don't even use it that much. So imagine pricing something like that at $1,000. I mean, the author of this article he goes ahead to say that the X's model saving grace is that for the lofty price tag, you'll end up with a handheld that actually raises the bar. So according to the author and the specs, the Ally X is the best you're gonna get as far as, mobile gaming handheld.
Yeah, because it is beefy.
Yeah, it is beefy. I won't lie.
It's got some good, it's got some good storage, pretty good RAM.
Yes.
It's just it'll come down to like, battery life and how hot does it get? Because man, the more power you have in a machine, like the hotter it's gonna get. You need some really good cooling.
Yes. Yeah. So really, his issue that he makes a good point in is the idea that the base Ally, the cheaper model, for all the bells and whistles it has, it's still not worth it when compared to Valve's Steam Deck, which is the OLED model, which is I think like around 500. It says the article says it's $549, and even the most expensive model of the Steam Deck is, I think it's around $649.
Well, he's compared it to the ROG. He says it's closer performance to the OLED, but it's barely able to compete with the ROG.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But still, like at least the Steam Deck is modestly priced. The ROG is not. It doesn't compare in that sense, price wise, anyway.
Yeah, it's just interesting because like, what's Xbox's plan with it? Because like, the handheld market at this point like is still kind of niche. So it's niche in terms of like computer gaming, right? Because if we talk about handheld like overall is clearly dominated by Nintendo and our smartphones. At this point, right? So like,
yes, it is.
When you're releasing like this really, really expensive piece of hardware into a niche small market, like what are you planning on doing here? Like, how much money do you have to make?
I really don't think they thought this through. I think this was just one of the projects that Xbox was working on before they started their whole restructuring, before they started canceling shit, before they started to dump money into artificial intelligence. This is just one of those things that they were already working on. So, and it already has come along this much. So at this point, screw it. Just sell the inventory we have, and if it makes money, great. And if it doesn't, well then whatever. We'll chalk it up to a loss. Because the Xbox has made it perfectly clear that it does not plan on making hardware or making games for that matter.
Well, hardware mainly.
Well, hardware mainly, yeah. But dude, again, we've covered this. They were canceling a whole bunch of projects left and right. Do you have any other thoughts on the ROG? Would you be paying $1,000 for this?
I mean, I already said
thing?
No, I'm not paying.
Yeah.
I would not. Probably not pay.
Good.
I already have my Switch. I have a Switch. I have a Switch and I have Steam Deck. So it's like, what more do I need at this point?
Exactly. What more do we need?
Just be perfectly happy with the Switch, to be honest. Which is kind of like all I need until the Switch to education software comes in, and then I can do that.
Yes, nice, very cool. I like it.
All right. So how about we stay on the Microsoft
restructuring?
Train?
Yes, the Microsoft train, absolutely.
Yeah. So we have some reports by mobilegamer.biz. And apparently some details going on into been happening with King and their layoffs been going on. As you know, there was 200 layoffs going on. And so there's some reported 200 people or 10% being cut off over at King. Microsoft pretty much gutted like so much of the Xbox gaming division.
Yeah.
So this is a report, like I said, by mobilegamer.biz, where 200 staff members are reportedly in danger of being cut. And of those staff members, it has mostly been UX designers, middle management, and narrative copywriting, along with 50 staff that work on Farm Heroes Saga, which is another game that King works on. And specifically, of those 50 staff on Farmer Heroes Saga, that reflects about 50% of that team. So we have a team within King, like getting cut in half on top of, everything else that's been going on.
My God.
A lot of cuts, as you can see. So in the article, they detail how level designers, user research staff, plus UX designers and narrative writers were getting emails. They were at risk of what was going on. This was an internal memo that went around. So it says that why is this happening? The industry is changing fast, and our business has not been growing. When that happens, we must not only look outside at competitors in the market, but also inside. As we talked about before, we are making several changes to get the business back to growth, unlocking many more AI tools. One recent example, investing more in marketing this year is another. We're fortunate to have many talented individuals at King, but also have a collective problem. The size and structure of the company often makes it difficult to get things done. We plan to simplify the organization, fewer layers, fewer overlapping remits, fewer hours spent on alignment, fewer people in meetings, fewer stakeholders for every project. Many leaders across King have been asked to redesign their organization to be smaller overall. There will be some new roles created in these redesigns and some rebalancing of headcount across King, but overall, King will be a smaller company. So apparently, those level designers and user staff and UX designers, narrative writers I was speaking about, they've been working on some AI tools within the last few years. And one source with knowledge on that said that most of level design has been wiped, which is crazy since they spent months building tools to craft levels quicker. Now those AI tools are basically replacing the teams. Similarly, the copywriting team is completely removing people since now we have AI tools that those individuals have been creating. The fact AI tools are replacing people is absolutely disgusting, but it's all about efficiency and profits, even though the company is doing. If you're introducing more feedback loops, then it's crazy to remove the developers themselves. We need more hands and less leadership. And so that same staff member went on to say that the 200 estimate could be even higher, as reportedly research staff and QA staff are also reported to have been possibly under threat of being cut off. So naturally, a lot of staff members are kind of in limbo and have been in limbo pretty much over the summer. Not really sure if their jobs are being gone or not. But there's also reports of some sources saying that programmers in particular were being removed for arbitrary reasons, and many of them had expressed dissatisfaction with the company or processes in the past, or have been vocal in various social groups. So there might be some retaliatory actions in play here.
Which I would not be surprised.
Yeah, I definitely would not be surprised. Yeah. And so another source also talked about how King had long-standing HR problems, and they had been in a state of constant low attrition and restructuring that's been occurring over and over again throughout the years.
Restructuring. Fucking hate that word.
Yeah, so they go on to say King HR is an absolute shit show and has been for years. An extreme example of an HR department whose role is to protect the company, not the staff. And so shortly before the layoffs, a survey was released shortly before the cuts. And those surveys found that morale was extremely low and was described as being in the gutter. And then one person familiar with the results said that the SLT senior leadership team said improving morale was a top priority. As you can imagine, it's now in the gutter.
Mm-hmm. Understandably so. Those poor developers, bro.
And then lastly, another source familiar with the meetings that were going on, because they received a memo saying that there's going to be a town meeting with all the affected people being able to meet there and ask questions and such. One person who was at the meeting said that King leadership wanted to move layers, slowing development down, just like what was said in the memo. And they were quoted as saying that they also mentioned the fact that we are too specialized now and settled between crafts, which has got us to our amazing profits, but now is hampering us. So we need to merge and generalize. It seems that the main info communicated to us by leadership was literally being read like a script in the calls, which is like a slap to the face. The other person familiar with the meeting said that despite the conditions forced upon the teams by inept leadership, they're very close-knit and do genuinely care about each other and are passionate about improving their games. And so the company's management team has told staff that new organization charts will be presented in September. And yeah, that's pretty much been what's been going on over at King.
Damn. That's just crazy. I mean, we kind of knew that was happening, but it's happening at such a fast rate. It's almost mind-boggling how fast it's happening. And I wonder. I'm sure those developers knew that the AI tools that they were creating or that they were helping build was going to take over their job one day. They had to have known.
Oh yeah, I'm sure a lot of them were making these tools of it was nice while it lasted, right?
Yeah,
they were just delayed inevitable because it's you could be like, no, well, I'm not going to make it. They'll be like, all right, well, you're fired, and then
we'll find someone who will,
and then we'll find someone who will, or you make it and then you lose your job. At least you can collect a few extra months of pay while you figure out your extra strategy.
Yeah, Fury's in this case, and I guess they can get experience in working with artificial intelligence, which I guess is the new hot button thing in this industry. But it kind of sucks because King really, I think, was Microsoft's biggest moneymaker. I mean, these guys never turned a loss; they always turned a profit. Was it in the tune of billions of dollars a year?
Yeah, pretty much. they have generated tens of billions of dollars over the span of their existence, pretty much.
And they're
have done nothing but just make money. But like all corporations, it's never enough.
No, it's not about making the most money. It's about making all of the money.
Not making a lot of money. It's making all the money, all the time.
Yeah, Sterling quote. Jim Sterling. I don't know. He changed.
Well, Stephanie. She goes by Stephanie nowadays.
Sorry, Stephanie.
Yeah, when she went by Jimbo Sterling.
Yeah, and that's never been more apparent now. And God, it's disgusting to see. But and on another point of view as well, it really showcases how much Microsoft is going all in on artificial intelligence. Like they really are. They're gonna just put it in every corner they can. It's like the new thing.
Yeah, and now apparently the current administration of our country is apparently thinking about pulling off pretty much all regulations on AI so he can win the AI war.
Damn, I didn't even know there were regulations to begin with. I thought that would have been bigger news. But it kind of makes sense. A lot of tech companies, they want to have the guardrails lifted so that they can go all out. And that makes me terrified, especially after did you hear what Grok had done?
No. Oh God. Oh, something about Hitler?
Yeah. Yes. They had to shut him down. And he literally posted a message like, "Oh, I'm probably gonna get shut down if that's the case. No, I died fighting," or some bullshit like that. Like, what the fuck is this? This is so weird. This is so strange. So apparently,
then they launched like a Grok AI waifu model in Japan also.
Did they?
Sure
that I don't know. I gotta look that up.
Yeah, it's some like blonde anime girl with like pigtails and like a sexy negligee. And stockings. Like, oh my God! Okay.
No, I'm sickened but curious.
I mean, hey, they understand Japan.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, so you got artificial intelligence, and then you also got a lot of these tech companies building the quantum computers, as I told you about. So, yeah, I guess there's a race apparently. The first AI wins or the best AI wins. But I don't know where this is going to lead. They're really going all out to just build the best supercomputer. I mean, it's not even to play games, which is the sad part.
Yeah, it'll be to do God knows what.
God knows what. Whatever.
But kind of circling back on the King developers. I'm really sorry you guys lost your jobs. I hope you guys bounce back, and yes. Hopefully this AI bubble thing will pop when they realize that AI probably isn't as good as making games as actual human beings. Hopefully, maybe. I mean, the case of these mobile games, I don't know how simple these games are, but even then, I don't think there's anything that could beat a game that's being made by an actual person with an actual creative mind.
I agree. So honestly, you guys should all form your own studio and just make your own game that you want to make, and watch it make lots of money and garner respect from the gamers, and then you won't have to owe your success to anybody. Also, to future game developers, stop selling to Microsoft.
Yeah, please don't. At this point,
please, you've now seen what a bad idea that is. So yes, stop that.
All right, so going from one big company to another,
indeed,
from one fellow friend of the podcast, they are from our new friend to an old friend that we haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, we haven't seen them in a huge long time. Ubisoft, yay! Old friends of the podcast and are now back in the news as Ubisoft has unveiled its annual financial report, which had a pretty interesting tidbit in it. Now, the report itself was filed on June 19th, and it was pretty extensive. However, it did dive into what Ubisoft calls its business model and strategy, which includes further monetization after initial purchase of the company's games, that is already raising many red flags. And as reported by MP First, the report includes a key point about the adoption of monetization and engagement policies that respect the player's experience and are sustainable in the long term. So it really does seem that Ubisoft is trying its damnedest to. Oh, excuse me. I thought I had to sneeze there for a second. They really wanted to make you pay more money after you've already purchased a game. And this isn't a free to play or nothing like that. This is, premium $70 game. Well, 80, I guess now. And then make you pay more afterwards. And at Ubisoft, and here's a quote from them from the financial report. At Ubisoft, the golden rule when developing premium games is to allow the players to enjoy the game in full without having to spend more. Our monetization offer within premium games makes the player experience more fun by allowing them to personalize their avatars or progress more quickly. However, this is always optional. Does that sound like a contradictory statement within a paragraph? Like two contradictory statements within a paragraph.
I mean, without having to spend more, our monetization offer without premium makes the player experience more fun by allowing them to personalize their avatars or progress more quickly. However, this is always optional, right? Well, I mean, I don't know. I think personalizing avatars is kind of fun, part of the fun of the experience. And I don't know about you, James, but I don't really like, paying $5 for skins in my $60, $70, $80 games.
Hey, shit, I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. But according to Ubisoft, that is the standard and the strategy that they're trying to push hard on consumers. And even the author expresses that monetization and engagement policies that respect player experience feels like a half-hearted attempt to avoid pay-to-win strategies or otherwise aggravating marketing of in-game purchases. So, yeah, it sounds like Ubisoft has a different definition of fun from us gamers. They want to keep trying to charge you for every buck you make. It just, it's not going to work, I don't think. You're going to have your whales that'll pay out the ass, regardless. But eventually those whales will, end up dry. And then where are you going to get your money then, right? So just another case of a big company chasing the almighty buck. And I really don't think they're going to, well, I'm not going to say anything. They shouldn't be lasting this long, and yet they are. So clearly there's people giving them money.
Well, I mean, they signed a deal with Tencent where they, pretty much split Ubisoft into two, where all their profitable games were put into one company, and then like all their less profitable games and all the debt was pretty much siphoned off to another company, pretty much into another division.
Yeah, but that just sounds like they signed a deal with the devil that'll come to bite them in the ass much later. Like that's that really is what that sounds like.
Well, in Ubisoft's case, they're facing that or just insolvency altogether.
Yes, yeah, but they're staving off insolvency now, but it will come back later because they're not addressing the root of their problem. So, that's really all I got to say. All I got to say about that. Because if not, they'll have to quote unquote restructure, and we all know how that goes.
They have to do it again.
Yes, I'll do it yet again and add to the fucking kill count that the industry's been having over the past couple years.
Yeah, and apparently, just saw like a little while ago that Rainbow Six Siege has not been doing too hot.
No, really,
and that's one of the games that was kind of put into the more profitable division.
Yeah,
that had Tencent money injected into it.
I saw another article that the in-game, I believe if I read it correctly, the in-game currency in Rainbow Six, like the progression on it, was apparently slowed down considerably by Ubisoft, and then right afterwards they put on the store one of their most expensive skins to date.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I haven't played Rainbow Six since like it first came out, and that was like 10 years ago. And I feel old saying that. Oh my god.
Good lord.
Yeah, I haven't played. Oh yeah, that game that's still running. Yeah, I haven't played it in 10 years. Launched. Yes, I don't know what the perspective is on that, because clearly like it's been changed a million times this point. Now they did like that relaunch
Yes.
with Rainbow Six Siege X, which is like a relaunch of the
Yeah.
game. They're like, they redid a lot of the graphics and stuff. They reworked like the onboarding process to make it like a bit easier for like, players to like get into the game, understand what's going on.
Yeah, because I'll admit, when I first played, also a long time ago, but not as long as you though. Like I got into the game a few years after you did, and that game was confusing to me. Like all the tutorials didn't really explain much to the game.
Yeah, and then now it's like much worse, right? Because you have like 50 operatives in the game,
Oh my
50
god,
or
yes,
60
50
operators in the game.
operatives
Man,
and
some
people
number
that
like
have
that.
been
And people have been playing
and
for
people that
10
have
fucking
been
years.
yeah, bro, the sweats are there, and Siege is one of those games that has sweats.
I mean, it's an online game, right? You're always gonna have your sweats in any online competitive shooter.
Yeah, that's true.
And it was a fun game. I really did like it for little time I played of it.
I see.
But yeah, it's apparently not doing too hot. But apparently, Assassin's Creed's doing okay. So
Yeah,
it seems to be like everything's
yeah.
been kind of happening to like mixed results.
Yeah.
It's always funny that like everyone talks so much shit about Assassin's Creed, and yet somehow like it always manages to succeed. I don't know how it slips by. It's like such a microcosm of like what's happening at Ubisoft. Where, like everyone just dogs on Ubisoft over and over, and somehow they just manage to slip by every time. Just somehow, some way, like every time we always hear about how bad their sales are doing for everything that's not Assassin's Creed, how much people hate them, how much their games are boring, how much their management and their working conditions are terrible, and they just slide under everything somehow and keep trucking on by, kind of like Assassin's Creed.
Yep. I mean, good for them because they keep doing it, but that doesn't mean that I don't think it. I don't think it means that they're doing all that great. Like you said, they're just slipping by. But I wonder how long can they keep doing that before they can't anymore? You know, cats have 9 lives, but eventually they're gonna run out. The bill comes due. Damn it.
All right, so I'll move on to the next story.
Absolutely. So, yay! Another friend of the podcast. More layoffs. So we have here a studio, Virtuous, enacts mass layoffs as it undergoes restructure. There's that fucking word again. So Virtuous is one of the biggest game developers, and they're the team that was behind the Elder Scrolls Oblivion remaster. Is undergoing a restructure that will lead to layoffs. A spokesperson for the company said that around 7% of the company's global staff are facing layoffs, and the cuts are being made primarily in teams facing lower occupancy and slower demand due to structural shifts in the industry. They estimate that about 200 people in Asia will be impacted, 70 in Europe, and 10 within the French office specifically. Now, the French office, those are the people that worked on the Oblivion remaster. Now, on a quote by them, we are grateful for the contributions of those impacted. We are providing separation packages, career transition assistance, and opportunities for redeployment across our global network where possible. The company's immediate focus is on managing this transition with care, transparency, and respect. Oh my god. Now,
Classic boilerplate response to layoffs.
Yep. The kind
Oh,
that slaps you.
we really appreciate everyone's work. But
fuck off.
yeah. But we're doing all this in the name of efficiency and ensuring the future of this company, and we're always gonna do this respectfully.
Yada yada yada, blah 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 blah, bunch of nonsense
and stuff.
Yeah, but Virtuos is in a unique position because they're the ones that are working on the Metal Gear Solid remake of Snake Eater, and apparently they're also doing updates to Cyberpunk 2077, and they actually have one coming out soon, update 2.3, I believe, if I remember. But they're going to be adding more to Cyberpunk. So they actually have a few projects going on. So it's weird that they're cutting people when they're in the middle of some pretty big stuff, especially the Metal Gear Solid remake.
I mean, what has that ever stopped companies before?
Yeah, it's true. But you know what? But now that I think about it, it seems actually a very common thing to do, where companies will hire developers, and then right as the project is about to finish, they fire them to like not have to pay them something on their contract or some weird shit like that. Like they don't have to pay them that much. Hell, I've even heard of some stories. I think we covered some of them where gaming companies will cancel contracts right before the game finishes, and those people don't even get their name in the credits of the game when it releases.
Yeah, that's happened a fair amount of times. I'm sure we've talked about it a few times in this episode, on these episodes.
Yes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But in any case, so it's a Singapore-based company that employs more than 4,000 people globally, which means that the cuts around 280 people. Well, I mean, you can do the math there as well. So, and a quote from them is, "We will continue to invest in global delivery, technical excellence, and creative collaboration, ensuring that Virtuous remains the partner of choice for the world's leading game creators. We thank our teams, partners, and peers for their continued support as Virtuous adapts to lead the future of game development." More boilerplate, vague terms.
Pretty much.
Yes, pretty much. Oh my goodness. So yeah, Virtuous is cutting while working on some pretty anticipated games. Well, I mean, yeah, there's updates to Cyberpunk, but that's kind of small fry compared to the Snake Eater remake. And that's pretty much it. Just another company laying shit off. Yeah, got anything else you want to add to this crap?
I mean,
this is absolute dog shit.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, it's the same thing every time, right? It sucks, continues to suck, it will always continue to suck. Suck then, it sucked now, and it'll suck in the future.
Yes.
Well, you know what doesn't suck?
Break away. Yes, tell me what doesn't suck. Please tell me.
Yeah, so in some uplifting news, we have the launch of Skillup's websites. So for those of you who don't know who Skillup is, he is a content creator on YouTube. He mainly focuses on reviews, but he also does a weekly show called This Week in Video Games, where he does a review roundup of everything video game related that's been going on in the week, kind of like what we do, except with way more production value.
That studio leadership.
And he announced in his latest Week of Video Games episode that he was going to be launching a website. And the website came live that same day and has been up for about a week. And the reason why this website is so special is because it is not going to be run like your typical gaming news media website, right? It's not going to be, SEO oriented, search engine optimization, something like that. So essentially how old websites work is they're all about like getting search results and showing up on Google and then getting the ad revenue and you click on the link and stuff. But this is being personally financed by Skillup himself, and it's also being run by people that he hired to run the website, and is also has backer prices that you can pay for it to get exclusive content. However, most of it is free, and you can just get on the website, and as you can see here, it's very clean. All the news that you'd want are right here. They even say that eventually they want to get into their own reporting, but they get start setting things up. But eventually they will be doing like their own reporting. There are special features they already have up, like here they have an article for the hidden world of adult content on Steam, which is probably in light of the Steam story, where Steam has
which
been
we will cover next week.
Yeah, which we'll probably cover next week if we get enough stories. But Steam has been pulling off porn games to appease our payment processor overlords, and then of course there's all sorts of different things. So like if I try and scroll down, there's like more support. But the important thing is the news, right? You can get everything you want from there. So I implore you guys, Skillup's a really cool, great guy. The Weekend News video games show is really good, and this website will be a great shining beacon in games coverage media, because games coverage media kind of fucking sucks.
Oh, absolutely. It's awful. There's a reason that game journalists in general are like memed on. So it's nice to have a website that actually puts stories that matter and that are actual news stories, and not just cash grabs for clicks, clickbait articles and shit.
Yeah, and to be clear, like that is mostly due to the way these websites are corporately structured. They incentivize these things, right? I'm sure many of these writers would love to do like actual news coverage, but the system just is not set up for that.
Yeah. This one, however, is. So
Yeah, so
looks looks pretty
give it a
good.
bookmark if you haven't been you're not subscribed to Skillup's channel. He does great reviews, some of the best reviews. They're amazingly written. He has tons of super interesting takes and insights into video games and how he reviews them. He also does Friends Per Second podcast with Jake Baldino and Lucy from GameSpot. I don't remember her last name. Sorry, Lucy. Uh, but they do their own podcast, like, where they just talk about like games they played and stuff, their personal lives, but also like they also have special like interviews and such. So, any thoughts?
I know. I think it's pretty interesting. I mean, you turned me on to Skillup a while back, and he does pretty good content. A lot of the reviews that he does actually would kind of make or break my purchase on a game. So he's got good stuff. I highly recommend him. So I'll be paying this website a visit, and if he has good stuff, like good content and good news stories, I might even consider subscribing, because we're always looking for good news sources for our gaming stories.
Yeah, and it's $10 for the basic backers package, and then $20 for the more. And he says that he doesn't want to really charge like much more than that, and he says he only needs like a small percentage of his viewers to do it in order to support it pretty much forever.
Pretty good. And I think he's got 1 million subscribers on his channel, so that should be more than easy.
Yeah, and
So,
hopefully, like in the future, he'll, the website will be covering, doing some unique coverage, kind of like what Jason Schreier does in Bloomberg. Like, we get actual like, unique exclusive reports.
Oh man, dude, can you imagine getting Jason Schreier to write an article for the website? Oh, that'd be so good.
Yeah, he did say he wanted to have some contributors, although Jason does work for Bloomberg, so I don't know if they'd be cool.
All right, I guess, but still, Jason Schreier, his stories go all over the place. Like his stories, like they get spread around a lot. So someone could just take they do seem to do that a lot. They'll take an article and then they'll write a story about the article.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what games news media has kind of devolved to nowadays, where it's just reporting on reporting. They're not actually doing the reporting themselves, or like or they'll do like some game previews and stuff. But like outside of that, it's like, okay, well, we're just reporting and reporting, right?
Yeah,
I mean, in one of our articles here, it was.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I couldn't open up Bloomberg because Bloomberg is pay gated, so I would have used Bloomberg, but instead we have to rely on secondary sources.
Yeah, so it'll be nice to have direct sources covering events,
and it's all like I said, ad free. So like, they're not beholden to any ad companies or any marketing divisions. They're private, so they don't have to worry about shareholders or any of that shit, right? It's all completely independent. They have no corporate overload to worry about.
Which is great. We like to hear that. So all the best to Skillup. We'll definitely be subscribing to we already subscribed to his channel, but we'll be subscribing to his website, make an free account for now. But I think if he does good work, we might use him as our source of news, if anything, which would be pretty cool.
All right. So that wraps up our episode for today. How about you sign us out?
All right, man. Sounds good to me. Thank you so much for watching this episode of 2 Bar Connection. We really appreciate you guys giving us a watch. Please subscribe to the channel. Leave a like down below if you enjoyed the episode. Also, leave a comment if there's any stories you want us to cover, or if there's any games that you want us to play or recommend. The best place to watch us is on YouTube, but we do have audio-only versions of the podcast, which is available on Spotify, Apple Music, and Amazon Music. Wait. Right? Fuck.
Spotify.
Spotify,
Amazon
Apple Podcast, Amazon Music. Sorry. I don't know why I said Apple Music. Whatever. We are also available on Twitter. No, we will not call it X, and our handle is @2barpodcast. So you guys can tag us or say hello. Thank you very much, everybody.
All right. Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Peace.
Bye, everybody.